I'm curious, the relationship between contractors and rental equipment companies. Are there any unique challenges for contractors or equipment rental companies? Yeah.
Yes, a couple come to mind. So I'm finding that it's such an extreme sides of the spectrum. People either trust their dealer for everything and go to them for everything, or they don't trust them at all. And they
Right.
once the warranty is up, they are out of there. They're going to do all their own maintenance and everything. So that's a definitely an interesting hurdle for some dealers to overcome, to try to continue to gain that trust of their customers, to offer value added services and things that you're not going to get when you're just going off on your own and trying to do it by yourself. And the dealer at the end of the day, because they have these partnerships with the large OEMs, because they have requirements. Anytime you work with a large brand like a Case, a Cat, or on the oil side, a Shell, a Chevron, they have really stringent quality standards. They have all kinds of checkpoints that you have to meet to either be a distributor or to be a dealer, right? And trainings, all the things that you have to go through to make sure that you are representing and taking care of their brand, their products, the best. And so having those dealers have those resources, they have those big names and that big kind of money backing them. And that's one of the talking points that I use now in this role, because I'll be totally honest, it's been really interesting going from spending the first large portion of my career telling everybody, forget the dealer, do your own services, buy all your product from me, I'll help you. And now having to be like, go to the dealer, don't do anything on your own. I had to completely change my pitch there, but I do see the benefit in that. If heaven forbid something massive or costly happened to a piece of machinery that my dealers at one of their end users, you have all of the resources that the dealership has to help diagnose or solve that problem. If they can't, for whatever reason, they have all of the resources of the OEM. So whether that's Case or Cat, et cetera. And then if beyond that, you have all of the resources of the, like in our case, the oil major who supports that brand of products. So we don't, the products that in my instance that are for Case New Holland, it's Case's product, it's their recipe. We just have the cooks in the kitchen. So we just cook it up for them. But because we touch it at Shell, now you have all of our resources behind that product. And so you have such a great safety net and access to so many different things when you're using a quality product and working with a dealer. So that's my first point. The second point, at a rental company, like what you guys deal with on a regular basis, is you are loaning that equipment out to anyone and everyone, whether they have experience or not, whether they know what they're doing or not. And those machines are probably put through much harder tests and circumstances out in the field than a machine that is owned by a company that actually has ownership over that has that skin in the game to make sure that machine is properly maintained and cared for. So I feel like your equipment is coming back a lot more beat up. You're having to figure out how to prevent that from happening without being able to train that person or have any sort of, obviously they're signing away their life maybe when they're renting it, but still, what Joe Schmo is going to get thrown in the seat of that excavator and not care that he's greasing it or maintaining it, or that he's running it over on hours before, when it's due for service. So that's definitely a unique challenge to equipment rental companies.
Yeah, it seems like the contractors are, they have a different reason to be incentivized for maintaining the equipment when it's a rental, right? It's probably maintaining it for safety rather than, for longevity. I'm curious and really have no idea on this answer. do you sell the same quality of lubricants into rental houses as you would to the contractor? Are they buying the exact same material, or do you recommend something different when they may go longer periods of time without the same amount of maintenance?
Well, it's really up to what the company wants to do, what motivates them, right? I would be doing my best to try to educate them on the benefits of having a higher quality product. And because while you may be paying more upfront for that product,
Yep.
to have that peace of mind, that little bit of extra insurance that that machine is going to hold up under worse circumstances if it's getting pushed past its drain interval. Heaven forbid that happens, but it happens a lot. You know that that product is going to hold up longer and function better. And so really trying to point them towards those better products is very important, but you can't always convince them. And so I do see a lot of rental outfits that end up just using like a private label house brand product, especially in our industry, because like I get it. You blow a hose at any given time. It happens all the time, and you lose all that product. And how devastating it would be if that product was a bit of a pricey product to just lose it out on the ground like that. So I do understand the thought process that goes behind that, but proper maintenance is so important, and making sure that you have a product that's not going to oxidize as quickly as a house brand product will is so important. Just to keep that machine running.